The only way to stop procrastinating. When you feel yourself hesitating, count down from 5 to 1, and then start working for just 5 minutes. When we have a lot going on in our lives, whether it's personal or professional, our brains can become overwhelmed with stress. And when we sit down to work, that stress can make it difficult to focus and get things done. The key to breaking the habit of procrastination is to understand the 3 parts of any habit: the trigger, the pattern, and the reward. In the case of procrastination, the trigger is always stress. The pattern is to avoid doing the work that needs to be done, and the reward is a temporary feeling of stress relief. To break this habit, I've learned to acknowledge the stress that I'm feeling and then use a simple countdown technique to interrupt the habit and awaken my prefrontal cortex. I count down from 5 to 1, and then I force myself to work for just 5 minutes. This helps me to get started and overcome the habit of avoiding work. Research has shown that if we can get ourselves to start, we are more likely to keep going. So even if it's just for a few minutes, starting is the most important step in overcoming procrastination. By using this technique, I've been able to break the habit of procrastination and become more productive in both my personal and professional life. Identify the trigger. As I mentioned earlier, procrastination is a habit that is triggered by stress. The first step to breaking this habit is to identify the trigger. Take a moment to recognize the stressors in your life that may be causing you to procrastinate. It could be a difficult conversation you need to have, a looming deadline, or even personal issues. Once you have identified the trigger, you can work on managing your stress levels. Change the pattern. The second step is to change the pattern of avoiding work. Procrastination is a pattern that we repeat, and it can be challenging to break. However, using the science of habits, we can change our patterns. The 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 technique is a simple yet effective way to interrupt the habit of avoiding work. When you feel yourself hesitating, count down from 5 to 1, and then start working for just 5 minutes. This technique interrupts the habit and awakens your prefrontal cortex, allowing you to focus on the task at hand. The reward of relief. The third step is to focus on the reward. Procrastination provides temporary relief from stress, but it ultimately leads to more stress and anxiety. By breaking the habit of procrastination, you will experience the reward of relief. You will feel more in control of your life and less overwhelmed. Research shows that once you start working, you are likely to keep going. So, start with just 5 minutes, and you may find yourself working for much longer. By identifying the trigger, changing the pattern, and focusing on the reward, you can break the habit of procrastination. Remember, you are not a procrastinator. You have a habit of procrastinating. With the right tools and techniques, you can break this habit and achieve your goals. Responsive procrastination and take control of your actions.